John Phillips versus Khamzat Chimaev is a middleweight bout. John Phillips has a record of 22 wins, 9 losses, and Khamzat Chimaev has an undefeated record, 6 wins, no losses. Okay, so in Khamzat's first 2 fights he ever had, they weren't against very high caliber fighters, as he basically just destroyed both of them by choke in the first round and ground and pound in the first round. Now, in his third fight was when he started to have some competition, as the fighter was 4-0, but, he knocked him out. His next fight was against someone 8-3, and, he knocked him out in 35 seconds. The next fight was against someone 8-0, and, he uppercutted him, knocked him out in the first round again. Now, in his most recent fight, it was against someone that was 4-0, and he beat him by submission. Now, this guy really seems to have a crazy knockout power, and he's really good at using it to take his opponents down and submit them if he can't get a good shot to land. And I see in this fight, I see him trying to go for KOs in the first round, just like he does in all of his fights. And if that fails, he'll probably try to take him down and go for submissions. Alright, now let's take a look at John Phillips. Now, it looks like he's probably a UFC vet or something, right? But that's wrong. He only has 4 fights in the UFC, and he lost the first 3 fights in the UFC first 2 fights in the UFC by rear naked choke. And in his next one, he lost by decision. And in the fight after that, he finally beat someone, but it was against someone who has yet to beat anyone in the UFC, and who so far in the UFC is 0-2. So I don't really think that win means much. But I would say even though that opponent he beat wasn't that good, he still showed his first round knockout power, as he finished him in just 17 seconds. Okay, so I think first off that Chimaev is much more diverse in that he can easily knock you out at any point in the fight, and he has an outstanding ground game, and Phillips honestly is yet to really beat anyone, and he is 35 years old, while Chimaev is only 26 years old, and so far Chimaev has dominated every single one of his fights. So I'm going to have to give the win to Khamzat Chimaev by submission in the second round. Alright, if you agree, disagree, or have something to say, make sure to put in the comment section below, and I'll make sure to get back to every single one of those comments. Make sure to like and subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss the absolute best MMA content out there. It's been fun, but I'm out of here.